welcome in everybody here to the first annual Irvin's Used Auto Parts Thanksgiving Classic here at Lacoma, North Carolina. Southern National Motorsports Park is the place to be. Got a legend practice on track right now. Going to be the first night of division on the track for tonight's race event. Then we'll have 250 laps of late models right after this. I'm going to be joined by Wesley Outland here in just a few minutes. He's running a little bit behind, and what a night it was last night. No, you guys didn't get to see Heat 2. We only done Heat 1, but Heat 2 was an amazing race. We seen Josh Cottle, Jordan Blair duke it out. Had one caution out of the 30-lap feature. And what a race it was. Josh Cottle would run the rear end of Jordan Blair and, just never really touch him. Was honestly a really good race, to say the least. Nobody went a lap down. The first heat race was wild. Y'all got to see it, and it was crazy. Full of excitement, full of all kinds of stuff. It was very a very thrilling race, and we get to do it for 250 laps tonight. So it's going to be very interesting, very crazy to say the least. But we're going to bring you all the action here for the Legends. It's shaping up to be an exciting race. Got a couple cars still waiting to join. Still got about 7 minutes left here in final practice. And it's going to be an exciting one. Racing under the lights here at Southern National is amazing. 4/10 mile racetrack, high banked racing, long straightaways. And with these legend cars, you got to be very, critique with how you control the cars. I mean, you can't just, like a late model, you can drive it off in there and it sticks. With these legend cars, you can't do that. You got to drive it off in there and almost baby it through the corner, or you are going to lose it as you see them there off of 2 down there looking down from the blimp. And it looks like that's what everybody is struggling with is car control. How to drive the car, how far they can drive it, how long it's going to take them to get it, how long it's going to take for them to have to be able to get back into the throttle. I mean, there's all different types and things that you got to look at when it comes to things like that. You got to just, I would say, be patient. The legend race is going to be just like the late model race, but 25 laps of it. It's going to be patience. You can't run each other over. You can't, just. It's going to be a really, really interesting race that, you're not going to want to miss. But we got Wesley Outland in the booth with us. Wesley, how's it going, man?
Good evening. Welcome to Southern National Motorsports Park. We're ready to go for the Irvin's Used Auto Parts Thanksgiving Classic on this evening. Over 20-plus late models on the virtual world of iRacing. We'll bottle it out for 250 laps. And then, of course, the Legends Qualifier event to set the stage for this big Sunday, which is normally a Sunday evening finale on Thanksgiving weekend. We're doing it a week later, and we are excited, Cody. Again, buddy, as he said, I'm Wesley Outland, and we're ready to bring this one to you. And we've got even more drivers ready to go for the finale tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I think we finally ended up with 24 drivers altogether, so there's going to be 12 rows of late models. So that's going to be awesome. That's going to be interesting. I think we ended up with 14 legend cars, Wesley. That, to me, on the virtual side, is just as big of a car count as you would see if you went to Thanksgiving Classic in real life.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, of course, at all the preliminaries we've saw the last couple of nights, or you've been able to officiate with the qualifying, and then, of course, pole night leading up to the heat races last night. Obviously, heat race number 1, very entertaining if you're a fan of the yellow flag. We saw that. We saw Mike Willard make that last lap bump and run pass on Enoch McNeil to win heat race number 1. Then, of course, I saw you call a pretty clean and green heat race number 2. You see the legend cars now coming onto the racetrack, and if I'm correct, this is their final practice session, right, Cody?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They had about a 45-minute practice session to kind of get things situated. And like I said, we got a great field of legend cars. I was kind of shocked. I was kind of hesitant about putting the legends on the schedule because nobody really likes them. And started out with 3 or 4 cars and ended up with 14. So it's crazy. And then they'll have a 5-minute qualifier after in about 3 minutes and to set the stage. And just want to point out that Brandon Clements is not Brandon Clements. That is Enoch McNeil. Nephew of Ross Dalton. So that's a name that you're going to see that is not going to be familiar.
And of course, the legend cars. If you're jumping onto the broadcast now, you can the sound of the legend cars, completely different sound, if you will, Cody Deemers, than what them late models sound like, for sure. Totally different world with these cars.
Oh yeah, and like I was telling the race fans earlier, like you gotta drive. Oh my goodness, you gotta drive.
Oh wow,
you gotta drive these cars so much different. Even in real life and on the virtual side, in a late model, you can drive it almost to the center of the corner, whereas in these legend cars, it's almost like you got to baby it around the racetrack. So just different things that you gotta look at. So
quite a field of them, 24 drivers, as of course he mentioned, ready to go at it here in the Thanksgiving Classic. Again, the late model stocks over 20 plus, and then of course the legends right now having their opportunity. We're coming on the air live. I'll be with you from green to checker, as well as Cody Deemers, and let's take a look at the race information and the analysis on this racetrack. I kind of hinted last night on the history. That is the Southern National Motorsports Park. It is 4/10 of a mile, just shy of a half-mile racetrack, 17 degrees of banking around this speedway. If you're brave enough to stick it 2 and 3 wide, you can get around here, and obviously, I think the safe way is the bottom of the racetrack. But Cody, if you're brave enough, you do the bump and run or try to move somebody out of the way on the bottom, and that's sometime that this racetrack is very known and popular for.
Yeah, definitely. And with the bump and run in the late models, you're probably not going to see it as much, just because with the model and the bubble that iRacing gives you to play with, you'll just kind of wreck the guy. So when it comes to, you racing a legend car, yes, you can see a bump and run. So it's going to be things like that you're going to see in the legend car. They're going to use these front bumpers. These front bumpers are there for a reason. You're going to see them use that. You're going to see them, it's almost like an open wheel modified, Wesley, where, if you touch, you're going to be flipping, or you're going to run over top tire to tire. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting to watch. Real quickly, as again, this final practice session ongoing for these drivers for the legends. And again, the legends will be a 25-lap feature. It's just a little appetizer, as me and Cody used to say jokingly, to get you set and hyped up for the big late model stock car race. So, hey, listen, if you're a fan of Elevated TV, if you're a fan of Southern National, or even the Thanksgiving Classic, which, by the way, the real race was won by Chesapeake, Virginia's Butterbean Brendan Queen last Sunday afternoon at Southern National. If you are a, of course, subscriber to Racing America, and of course they've got the coverage of the 56 Snowball Derby going on. But if you are a subscriber to Racing America, you can check out the race, the highlights, and it was very entertaining. The 3-wide racing with about 30 laps to go between Butterbean, Brendan Queen, Caden Honeycutt, and of course, oh man, who was the third guy I was thinking about? That they were a part of it, and the racing was so exciting and so intense. And, of course, when it was all said and done, Brendan Queen was able to get the win. But now, ready to see what these guys can do. The legends are up first, 25 laps. There's money on the line. And a lot of these guys also, Cody, are going to be doing double duty. The names that we'll be mentioning in the late model race are also some of the names that you'll be hearing during the Legends car event coming up here in just a few moments as well.
Yeah, and I just got word that Ross Boo Boo Dalton is actually going to be a late entry. He's going to be jumping in here for qualifying, so he's going into this race with no practice, and he just give me word that he's going to race the Legend race. So it's going to be cool to see a late model driver, an IRL late model driver, racing a Legend car, something he's never even driven.
There you go. That'll be interesting to see for sure what he can do. As again, right now, I think you can add now another name to the list, and I want to say that's 15 Legend cars now.
Yeah, I think we got 15 altogether.
Yeah, gonna be fun for sure. Add on the driver Ross Boo Boo Dalton. There you see the number 22 on the racetrack. Of course, that's Adam Baker from Winston-Salem. I love the pink and the white and the colors of that coupe.
Yeah, cool.
Working his way around the racetrack here. Yeah.
Cool thing about him, Chuck Wall, mini stock driver, is actually his uncle.
Yeah. Chuck Wall is a name that goes right back from my announcing days as well, and pretty cool guy for sure. So awesome to hear all this stuff going on, no doubt. Again, ready for this Thanksgiving Classic to get underway. There are sponsors that have made this event happen, and we want to acknowledge them real quickly. We'll thank them out. Thanks again, as always, to Irvin Used Auto Parts. Thanks to Irvin Used Auto Parts, the entitlement sponsor for the 2023 Virtual iRacing Thanksgiving Classic. We also want to say thank you to Elevated TV, D&M Lawn Care as well. All of those people that have helped out. Are there any others that we could throw out there and give an acknowledgement and a thanks to, Cody?
Yeah, we're going to give a big shout out to Staley Performance, as they sponsored the heat race money up last night for the heat races. We also want to give a big shout out to Michael Steele with Steele Graphic and Designs. They're giving a free wrap to the best appearing car, which is going over on Elevated TV's Facebook page. So make sure you go give a like on the picture of your favorite car. And then Max Bender with Bender Designs is giving a free wrap to the Tough Luck. He's giving $5 to the Hard Charger, and he give 2 free hero cards to the winner of the heat races.
So let's talk about the format for the Irvin Used Auto Parts Thanksgiving Classic. Okay, so first off, the Legend cars will run a 25-lap preliminary. We've kind of already hinted on that to set the stage. And then the late models will run 250 laps, which is basically the same distance that they run in the Thanksgiving Classic with the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts late model stocks. These are the Cars Tour late model stocks that are being used. Very unique in succession, if you will. But what's the format, Cody? What are we going to keep an eye on for 250 laps? It could go by quickly, but it could also go by a very long time, depending on the drivers and their talent and what they want to do out here tonight.
Yeah, so the way the format's going to work is they get one fast repair. They get a set of tires when they grid up, and they'll have a extra set in the pits, just like you see in real life, except, in iRacing, you can't give them the 2 sets. So they give them, we give them extra set in the pits. That way they get it. We have a halfway break at 125. I forgot to also mention, want to give a big shout out to Ross Boo Boo Dalton. He put up $50 to the halfway break leader. So that'll be pretty cool. Give these guys a race. So it's not a single file race for you guys. It's not boring. You got some people trying to get to the front as well. And then nothing other than that. It's going to be kind of single file and 125 lap halfway caution, and then we're going to go to 125 more to the end.
Oh, let's just set the stage here. There will be no stages. There'll be 2 segments, and one will go halfway to lap 125. Now, when they come down to pit lane, Cody, will they have a 10-minute break to run to the restrooms, grab a snack, and reset? Or is it going to be come down to the pit lane, change tires, add fuel, get right back out there, drop the green, go to the last 125?
Yeah, so they have to come down. They have to take their tires by halfway. So at 125, you won't see any more tire pit stops. They have to take their tires by 125, and then they'll get like a 5-minute break. Give us time enough to interview the leader at the halfway break, and then you'll see them line up on the backstretch, and back in their order, the field will be frozen from the time the caution happens, and go from there.
There you go. So, by the way, Caleb Hall just chiming in. He says, Wesley, great to hear a familiar voice of late model stock car racing in the broadcast booth on Elevated TV. I'm starting last because I'm entered late but I'll make it a show for you. So we'll see what Caleb Hall will be able to do, our buddy out of Virginia. As, of course, the field is gritty. Ladies and gentlemen, the preliminary is set to go for the Thanksgiving Classic presented by Irvin Used Auto Parts. It's virtual Southern National. Kyle Terzak will be on the pole in the number 8 machine, ready to bring him to the green flag, of course, from Stafford, Virginia. To his outside, and actually he's in the 51. To his outside, Kyler Staley will be in the 31 machine. That is the driver, of course, ready to go on your front row. Kyler Staley now actually in the 13 from Lexington. Adam Baker will make up row number 2. He's out of Winston-Salem in the 22. Nolan Marshall will start 4th. On the outside, of course, that driver ready to go in the number 2 from King, North Carolina. Jordan Blair will be in the number 5 machine from Walkertown. To his outside, Cole Brannick in the 43 from Winston-Salem. And there's your first 3 rows there. And I'll take you the rest of the way along with Austin Taylor, Cody in the 54. He'll be alongside, and that driver will be Dominique Lumley also in the 62. There's your first 4 rows, buddy.
All right, out of row 5, out of Burlington, North Carolina, starting on the inside, driving the B1 Bomber, it's going to be Brandon Clements, otherwise known as Enoch McNeil. To his outside, out of Liberty, North Carolina, it's going to be the 50 machine and the JBD Design sponsored entry of Ross Boo Boo Dalton. Row 6 is going to be an admin in the number 10. And then to his outside is going to be the 37 out of Danville, Virginia. South Boston Hornet racer. It's going to be Cliff Mullins. And then rounding out the field is going to be Jeffrey Johnson out of Hudson, North Carolina. And that's going to make up your starting grid there, Wesley. Wesley, I got to ask you. Do you think you're going to see, 25 laps, not a lot of laps? Do you think we're going to see a lot of cautions, or are you kind of hoping it's going to kind of go clean and green?
I don't know. I had to step away real quickly and grab my goggles, man. I had to get my glasses on. I'll say this. I will say this. It's all in the talents of these guys on the racetrack. Now, obviously, you've got some that are new to these legend cars, like Ross Boo Boo Dalton, never driven them before. And you've got some others that are talented, and they know the do's and the don'ts of the legend cars. You drive a legend very differently than you drive a late model. You're very low scale to the ground. Obviously, it's lightweight. You saw them flipping violently during the practice session on the back straightaway. So, yeah, I think it's all about the mindset of these drivers and the way that they set themselves. The smart thing to do, knock off 15 laps, 10 laps to go, then you give it all you can. We'll find out. The pace truck is on the pit lane. The 25-lap Legends Preliminary underway at the Thanksgiving Classic. And quickly off for the back straightaway, give the opening lap to the number 51 machine. Powering his way. That's, of course, Kyle Terzak from Stafford, Virginia. We got one spinning in the back. Right now, no caution flag. And now we got one hard into the inside wall. Little slow getting back rolling. That's the 54. That's Taylor's machine. And somehow, some way, we complete lap number 1 there, Cody.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And Ross and Enoch are making no call. They're coming to the front. They said it's a go time now. Everybody kind of single file, and Wesley, we're already looking better than the late models last night for Heat 1. And oh man, looks like Nolan's going to get a little loose there in 3 and 4, but saves it. We're going to say clean and green as they work back into 2.
Yeah, something happened to the number 2 machine, a Nolan Marshall, and now we got a big crash to the back straightaway. The B1 machine, the B1 Bomber. That's actually the driver, Enoch McNeil, with problems, and he has barrel rolled, and he gets airborne. He's damaged his Legends car, and this will bring out our first caution flag with about a handful of laps in it. So let's take a look at the replay here on Elevated TV. First caution of the race. You got Blair and Enoch McNeil alongside one another. What happened and went wrong here, Cody?
Yeah, it looks like he just kind of got back on the gas a little bit early. And
just lost it.
Just great job there by the 50 machine of Ross Dalton and Blair not to get into him there. But yeah, it just looks like he come off the corner, maybe got in the gas a little too early, and it just you know, with these cars, Wesley, you got to be careful with the gas. You know, a late model, you can kind of get right back into the gas, whereas these cars, you got to roll into the gas because, like they said, they are so low center to the ground.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, of course, if you watch the replay one more time, if you looked at it, you could see that the car B1 of Enoch McNeil right there, if we want to rewind it just a little bit more, coming off of that first and second turn, watch where his car literally looked like he was having just kind of a handling issue or just trying to fight steering, if you will, right about there. Well, I think we got a lap ahead of ourselves. But anyway, if you watch it where it happened, he looked like he was just kind of fighting the car. I think this is the lap right here when it happens. Watch the black and white car right about here. Look at this. And you notice that he was fighting the handling and the steering. And then what a great piece of driving for, of course, Ross Boo Boo Dalton to miss him and not get caught up in the accident, as well as the 5 of Jordan Blair.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Great job by both of them. And it looks like we got one to green, and Hayes' car is going to come back in. Phil's going to work through turns 3 and 4.
I was going to make sure you're back to live again, because remember last night we missed the bump and run pass.
Yeah, I did.
in the late model race.
I was over there clicking the live button, making sure we're good as we work.
There we go. And we're back underway, of course. Terzak, the man out in front, leading the way. 2 by 2 by 2 behind them. And let's remember something. 20, look out, the 2, bottom of the racetrack. And this will draw a caution. King, North Carolina, SRI Performance entry. Nolan Marshall goes around. And the caution will go up again with 16 to go.
Definitely. It looks like he done the same thing Enoch down there, Wesley. Just kind of got back in the gas maybe too early and just spun it off the corner. So I mean, just kind of just, you know, a lot of these guys don't race these cars, so it's different. You know, it looks like Mullins might have gotten to the back of him a little bit there and helped him and just spun it around.
So the yellow flag coming out again. That's SRI Performance and the number 2 machine. King, North Carolina, Nolan Marshall. He'll go to the tail of the field and join the drivers from the original caution. And we'll be trying to re-rack, restack, and try it again. It's the Irvin Used Auto Parts Thanksgiving Classic. You know what you need to do, Cody? You need to create a graphic where you can actually put that logo up on the screen, you know, whenever we mention it and all that good stuff. But, man, you've come a long way on Elevated TV with your graphics and the things you've updated, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've been working with Charles Wooten, and he's kind of helped me, brought me a long way kind of under his wing, I would say, and been working together a little bit, and haven't been over on LSR TV in a while, but been kind of focused more on Elevated TV, and definitely come a long way. You know, Wesley, when I started this deal, I kind of was just to do it for, you know, AIs, and then, you know, I got up with Cody Griffin, and he got me where I'm at. Him and Ross Dalton and Jordan Blair kind of got me where I'm at, and here we are now where,
you know, the last time me and you worked to race together, I think, was the virtual AI thing, the Martinsville 300. And me and you called that race together. And remember, the AI version had Carson Quapple winning the race. And you remember what we did? Yeah. I called Carson up on the phone.
Yeah, we did.
We called him up live.
Yep,
so we did. Oh, and by the way, thank you, Gunny. It was Josh Berry. It was Josh Berry, Caden Honeycutt, and Brendan McQueen putting on a hell of a show, 3 wide in the final 30 laps of the Thanksgiving Classic. And we're back underway, halfway home. Caution laps do count. And this will bring us down to 12 to go here as we're back for the restart, Cody, in turn 1.
Yeah, definitely. And Jordan Blair and Ross Dalton all over the back bumper of Adam Baker and Kyler Staley. Kyler Staley going to get down to the bottom here. Adam Baker looking to the inside of Jordan Blair. And, man, it's crazy, Wesley, seeing Ross Dalton out there in a legend car. And he's up front. He's showing he can drive anything you put him in.
Yes, sir, he certainly is. And right now we're watching Ross Boo Boo Dalton work his way down to the number 5 spot. That's the black and yellow Legend Coupe working his way down, battling Terzak, the leader, Staley second, Baker, Blair. There's Dalton, and there, wiggity a giggle, and there goes the 5. And Dalton just got away from it. He hit the concrete, but the 5 is in the fence of Jordan Blair.
We
Caution out.
Almost a reacted of the Legend car in the fence on Friday night.
Oh, man.
Here's
a look at it. There's a look at it. Baker and Brannick and the 5 all in this mix here, fighting for it. I believe that's Brannick and the 5. And then you see the 5 going around. Man, and then look at how Dalton just barely squeezed by there.
Oh my goodness. The 9 car, Dominic Lumley. I mean, he got by there, tore his fender off, left side fenders off, but got by there as well. Boo Boo Dalton involved. I mean, just a number of cars involved. What a crazy wreck.
Yeah, Dominique Lumley being shown as a 9 on timing and scoring, but he's actually on my roster as 62 from Lexington, North Carolina. Our apologies on that. I'm noticing that some of the numbers are not matching my roster or vice versa on the scoring ticker, so we'll try to do our best to make sure we have the correct names. As here comes Ross Boo Boo Dalton coming on to pit lane. By the way, 7 laps to go. 7 remaining here in the Thanksgiving Classic preliminary race with the Legend cars. Quick, fast repair. They get a fast repair for the Legends, right, right, Cody?
They do get a fast repair for the Legends, and they do get a fast repair in the big late model race.
There you go. So 1 fast repair, and it looked like Ross Boo Boo Dalton just took advantage of that as the driver came down onto the pit lane in that number 50 machine from Liberty, North Carolina. The lights will go off on the pace truck here. At least another lap or so under caution. It is Terzak, the leader, Kyle Terzak, up in front. That's the Zeems Setup Shop number 51 machine on timing and scoring. It shows him as the number 8, but he is in the 51 from Stafford, Virginia. He is the leader of this race. In second spot, of course, it is the driver Stanley, Kyler Stanley from Lexington, North Carolina. They got great barbecue, by the way. The number 13 Staley Performance, Zach Staley Racing entry. And, of course, he is right there alongside with Baker in the 22 from Adam Baker out of Winston-Salem. Top 3, of course, also Cole Brannick in the 43. And the 5 machine, of course, is Jordan Blair. I'm sorry, Brannick's machine is Mullins. My apologies, that was Mullins. As we're coming back to the restart here, let's settle it. It'll be a 4 lap to go, now 3 to go, and they're going to try to go 3 wide on the restart into turn 1.
Oh, boy. Here we go, down the backstretch, and they're going to get organized here and coming to the 2 to go here and off of 2. Staley on the outside, Baker on the bottom. Baker trying to get around him as they work into 1.
So these cars are a little bit smaller, but you could go 3 and 4 wide. It's a little crazy, but you can do it. As right now, here comes Kyle Terzak working off that 17-degree banking off of turn number 4. The white flag's in the air. Baker's in the wall. We got a crash. Here comes another driver getting airborne. Some more cars getting airborne. And, oh, no, caution's going to come out. We got overtime here in the Thanksgiving Classic for the Legend cars, and it was a little spin and grin for second spot between Baker, Staley, and Mullins. They made contact, and they took each other out here. Here's a look at a replay.
Keep your eyes on the black and yellow Ford 54. He's the one that started it. And then 22 of Baker just got loose off the corner, and oh, my goodness. Staley.
Look at the 5. Watch the 5. Of course, I know we're watching Baker, but look what happened to the 5. The number 5, the Red Legends car, who was involved in an early caution. Watch him slam and get in the wall here. Look at this.
Goodness.
Bam!
Oh, my goodness. Just almost made it through, and...
Was that Lumley, I believe it was?
That's Jordan Blair in the 5 car.
Jordan Blair out of the Walkertown, North Carolina. The furniture by Walker, number 5, the red 5. And, well, we'll try it again.
Cars.
We'll try it again.
Tore up race cars, that is for sure.
What is the format for overtime here, Cody, for the Thanksgiving Classic?
So basically, if they make it back to the white flag, the race is official. All they got to do is make it to the white flag. They get 3 attempts at it for both.
Part of me thinks they got to the leader, Terzak, crossed the line at the white flag, and then all hell broke loose behind them. But of course, they're going to try to reset this and try it one more time. Hey, thanks to everybody that's watching on Elevated TV. Cody Deemers, I'm Wesley Outland, special guest announcer joining for the Thanksgiving Classic presented by, of course, Irvine Used Auto Parts. And
Wesley, we need to try to get you on full-time next season for the Pit Wall on Sunday nights.
For the what now?
For Pit Wall Podcast Stock Car Tour. We need to try to get you on there on Wednesday nights.
Oh, that'll be, yeah, we might be able to do something like that. Sunday night, so we might have to, we might have to look into that. All right, here we go. Take 1 overtime. Thanksgiving Classic for the Legends right alongside. Green flag of the air. Can Turzak hold on to it? Down into turn number 1. Mullins powers on the outside. Here comes also Enoch McNeil. He'll move to second. McNeil trying to get on the run on Turzak. They're going to come to the line. This time by, white flag in the air. Race is official. Next time around, Turzak leads them down into turn number 1. The Stafford, Virginia driver, Enoch McNeil in the B1 Bomber Irvin machine. Can he get a run? He's down into turn 3. He's not there. They're wrecking behind them, and Kyle Turzak wins the Legends Thanksgiving Classic. Wow. Kyle Turzak from Stafford, Virginia, winning in the Zeem Setup Shop number 51. How about that for a finish to set the lineup for the late model race coming up next? What a wild look at it. Let's take a look at it, Cody. One more lap here with the final laps remaining.
Oh my goodness, that was crazy. As it looks like Ross is going to get there and just lose it, and just, mayhem breaks loose behind him. Dominic Lumley in the wall, Mullins, Ross, Marshall. I mean, wow. What a race.
Well, last lap, got to let it all hang out for sure. Kyle Turzak is going to be the winner of the Thanksgiving Classic for the Legends. And, of course, the Irvin Used Auto Parts Thanksgiving Classic on deck next for 250 laps, the big one for the late models. Thanks to everybody that's watching on Elevated TV, and Kyle Turzak will do the polished victory lap, working his way down the front stretch now, does a little wheel and deal into victory lane perfectly after completing the Polish victory lap, and of course we're going to grab the podium, Cody? Is that what we're going to do? Grab top 3?
Grab top 3. Looks like Kyle Turzak and Brendan Clements, which is Enoch, and Jordan Blair. So we'll get Jordan Blair up here first.
All right, so we'll grab the podium here, and I think we're missing one of those drivers. But we do have Jordan Blair. He is available for post-race interviews. Of course, the driver out of Walkertown, North Carolina, the Furniture by Walker, number 5. Pretty wild race out there for the Legends, man. Your take of it. You finish on the podium here at the Thanksgiving Classic.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Upside down a couple of times, I think, actually. So glad to have a fast repair. Everybody raced pretty clean. These cars are extremely hard to drive, big handfuls. So I don't race these things a whole lot, so a third's like a win for me.
And I was going to say, to come back from the back of the pack with a green-white checker, you were really flying to get up there to finish on the podium.
Oh, yeah, never give up. For sure. So, like I said, third's a win for me. Congratulations to Kyle on the win, and Enoch for second. Like I said, pretty crazy race. I didn't think we'd even be up here.
So, Jordan, how are these cars totally different to our audience that's watching on Elevated TV? Explain why it's just a totally different than what you'll be running here next for the Thanksgiving Classic with these late models.
Mainly, their power to weight ratio. They're so short wheelbase. They got so much power. If you get them a little bit sideways, man, they're gone. So the late models will be a little bit different. They're kind of more grounded. They're a lot more gripped up. You can make the passes. You can drive it in hard on entry and kind of slow it up and then drive it hard off. Whereas these things, you kind of have to really roll the corner and just keep your momentum up and try to stay as straight as possible on these things.
Well, Jordan will finish third here in the Legends event here at the Irvin's Used Auto Parts Thanksgiving Classic. Before I let you go, man, thank your sponsors. Good job tonight.
Let me thank Furniture by Walker, Sets of Racing Development. I want to thank Rooster for putting this whole deal together, and all the sponsors he's got for it. Michael Steele Graphics. And I think that's pretty much it.
There you go, the driver out of Walkertown, North Carolina. Jordan Blair will finish in the number 3 position. Enoch McNeil out of Burlington of the B1 machine, driving in second spot. Unfortunately, he's not available for post-race interviews, but we will grab the driver that has picked up the win. Or is Enoch McNeil with us now? I believe he is Enoch McNeil. Enoch, it's Wesley in the booth for Elevated TV. You got a copy, man. What a crazy race there. I know you were trying to go for a bump and run. Just kind of came up a little short on it.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to get to him. I hit the apron and just lost everything. These things, it's all about keeping the momentum. You can't really do nothing. You get free, you overcorrect it, you're going to be in the fence, and that's what happened there to me. So, got a fast repair and come back to the field and finish second. It's pretty good.
I would say for the most part, especially after the crazy shenanigans you went through in the heat race for the late models last night, that this is a pretty clean, fair Legends race, right? Pretty clean and green. Had a couple of cautions, but not a lot.
Yeah, we had 2 or 3 cautions compared to about 10 last night.
Well, Bud, what is your take of the Thanksgiving Classic and trying to be there at the end of 250 laps?
I think we got a real good starting position. We just gotta hold it there and just hope everything plays in our favor, save tires as much as we can, and go to the last half.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck to you, man. Before I let you go, thank your sponsors.
Well, I really don't have no legend sponsors, but for the late model, it's Zeems, Steel Designs, and that's pretty much the main ones.
All right, there you go. There's the thoughts of Enoch McNeil. He is a real late model challenger racer, and of course, good friends with Ross Boo Boo Dalton. You can see him at tracks all across the Carolinas, and he just finished up in the number 2 spot in the Legends Preliminary here at the Thanksgiving Classic. He'll be in the late model race coming up next. Let's go to Victory Lane now. Kyle Turzak, and Turzak out of Stafford, Virginia, the big man. And Kyle, congratulations to you, bud. Flag to flag, chaos, mayhem, all sorts of stuff going on behind you. But at the end of it, overtime at 28 laps, you're at the top of the board. Congratulations to you, Kyle.
Yeah, thank you. This was a pretty eventful race, all those cautions, and you got it done. I tell you what, it was pretty challenging because, I'm used to open setup guy. Definitely was not expecting how loose these things were tonight. Every time you got on the throttle, you just had to be nice and smooth with it. And if you messed up once, you were going around.
I'll tell you what, though, man, your car just seemed like it was really, really good compared to everybody else. Whenever that green flag fell, you just jumped up in front, man, and nobody could really get around you.
Yeah, this is the car that I mainly run on iRacing,
Yeah.
My boys with Zeem Setup Shops just hooked me up, and, I just go out here, do the best I can, and rep their brand for them.
So now you get ready for 250 laps with the late model stock Thanksgiving Classic, man. What do you do to repeat yourself and be the repeat winner for the Legends and the late models here tonight?
Just honestly, just save and be smart about your decisions and be patient. I was here for the real life one, and I was kind of seeing what they're doing, and it seemed like they were going too hard early, and that's why Barry caught Butterbean, and I had that battle. I feel like they went too hard early, so I think this game's going to be all about saving, and whoever can do it the best while being the fastest.
I'm going to make sure I'm saying your name correct. Isn't it Kyle Turzak?
Yes.
Okay, that broadcast school paid off. Well, Bud, before I let you go, thank you. Cody, you got any question for the winner?
Not really. Just congratulations on it, and I appreciate you coming out and racing.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for putting this on. I just want to thank Zoom Sub Shop, Rooster for putting this on, all the sponsors for this event. I also want to thank Rap Raps and also my parents, for letting me actually doing this. And, get ready for the real life season coming up. Go to Dominion and see if we can go win one in a limited late model.
And now, Kyle, there's another big race for the Legends coming up in January, the Thanksgiving Classic. It's already, in the books, but the New Year's Bash at Dillon, would you be a part of the Legends down there in South Carolina?
I want to get a Legend really badly, but we're going to late model route, see how that goes, and go from there.
All right. Well, there's also another big Legends race next Saturday at Carteret County Speedway. I think it's paying some pretty good money to win, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
$1,500 to win for the Legends.
That's
shameless plug for Bob Lowry, Judy Ellis, and everybody at Carteret County Speedway for the Solid Rock Carriers, of course, Race of Champions. When it's all said and done, Stafford, Virginia's Kyle Turzak, winner of the Legends portion of the Thanksgiving Classic here on iRacing and Elevated TV from the virtual Southern National Motorsports Park. Let's take a break. When we come back, Cody and I set the stage for 250 laps around Southern National. The Irvin Used Auto Parts Thanksgiving Classic for the late models is next. Welcome back to the Thanksgiving Classic here at the virtual Southern National Motorsports Park. You're looking live as the countdown clock is quickly approaching zero for 250 laps for the late model stock competitors as the Legends race just wrapped up. Kyle Terzak picked up the win in that event, and now we're mere moments away from dropping the green flag in the Irvin Used Auto Parts Thanksgiving Classic here at iRacing from Southern National. I'm Wesley Outland. Cody Deemers is alongside. We'll bring you the play-by-play, blow-by-blow of everything that happens here with these drivers tonight. As you see, some of them driving the top, the middle lane. We got one spun on the back straightaway, and this final warm-up session, if you will. And I hope they don't run down the entire 20-minute warm-up clock, Cody, to get ready for this race, buddy. Should be a good one.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I'm not sure what race control is going to do. Kind of up to them. We'll have kind of give you the race format, like Wesley was saying. They get a set of tires on the grid, a set of tires in the pits. They get one faster pair, halfway break at 125. If we have 2 consecutive cautions, we'll go single file restarts unless it's 10 laps to go or less. And that's kind of basically about it with the rundown of the race format. We'll have a halfway late breeder. Like I said earlier, big shout out to Ross Dalton for sponsoring $50 for the halfway break leader. And Wesley, when you have a halfway break sponsor, somebody that's going to give money, I feel like you're going to see the first maybe 20 laps be a little chaotic to get everybody situated, but I feel like, it kind of makes it where not everybody's riding.
I think around lap 75, 80, 90, right before the halfway mark of the race, you're going to see them hit that go button because they know there's extra money up for grabs for being the halfway leader. It's only paying one spot. It's not for second. It's not for third. It's not throughout the field. It's only one position that gets this halfway leader money. And obviously, dollar signs on the brain. These guys are going to try to think of doing whatever they can to be that top dog whenever we get to the cross flags of this race. But obviously, as you see these guys circling around the racetrack, maybe we can zoom in and go to on-track activity there. Thank you. And I'm just not a fan of the overlay just high above over and over again and start getting dizzy. Watching these guys working around the racetrack here, but you're seeing all the different camera angles that we'll be utilizing. And one of the things that me and Kyle Terzak were talking about, and we've had this conversation you and I have had several times. Man, it's amazing what iRacing does to make it look just like the real thing. The way this track is designed on iRacing is just exactly the way I remember it. That little small grandstand in turn number 4 was where I sat when my mom and dad took me to the races as a little kid. There it is, right there on the top left. Not the massive master grandstands, but those small little infield or those small little grandstands in turns 4 and turn 1 where I used to sit at as a kid. I remember my dad sitting on the top row of those grandstands, and I remember just seeing so many history-making moments in our sport that the Jamie Cottle races, the Big Jig Kelly, the Shelton McNair, the Carnell Lee battles. I remember, the Pig Rigs, and I remember, the night that Scott Riggs got in a big-ass fight with Milton Cook and so many others in a race. And there was a fireball, and there was the night the deputies got called out there and had 30 of the Wilson County Sheriff's Department having to come out there and assess order, and it was on Speedway Thunder TV back in the day. And I think of going to the Hooters Pro Cup races, going to the Cars Tour events now and back then. And man, the Thanksgiving Classic was just that. I think this past Sunday weekend, Cody, they celebrated the 23rd running. Well, I can tell you, I was at the first ever event in the early 2000s. I want to say it's back in 2020. I want to say it's 2001. I think it might have been. I was right there at it, and I've been there to probably every other one since then. I know I missed this past year. I missed a year past because of other stuff going on with my regular work schedule. But man, the Thanksgiving Classic is a race that it is synonymous in its history of being a special fall classic for sure.
Definitely. Like I was saying last night, one of my favorite times and favorite of Thanksgiving Classic I've ever been to was back in 2014. And you think what I'm about to tell you is crazy being my favorite, but we had burn barrels, Wesley. I mean, it was so cold you had to stand around because I'm in Indiana now and like it's 8 degrees outside, and back home it's it don't ever get no lower than 30, maybe 40 degrees. And it was about 30 or 40 degrees back in 2014, and I had went with Travis Miller, and we were sitting outside, and they had brought out burn barrels to put out around the racetrack. So it's pretty neat, But the last couple of times I've been, we've always had to park outside. I don't think we've ever got to park inside, and it's always a good race. I mean, you have 20 plus late models that show up, and they put on a phenomenal show just like they did last Sunday night.
I was there last year when Josh Berry pocketed $50,000, winning the Thanksgiving Classic that Kirk and Lynette Ipock and Solid Rock Carriers had putting up $50,000. And, of course, Josh Berry winning that one. He was a part of that battle with Caden Honeycutt. And, of course, proverbial winner, Brendan Queen this past Sunday. I remember the night that I was out there at the Thanksgiving Classic, and Deke McCaskill, God rest him, he got involved in a kind of a crazy accident Sunday, and that's a guy that's a patriarch that's been running at Southern National probably as long as the gate's been open to that Pure Gear Tank Line 08. Well, anyhow, I remember that night where him and Jamie Cottle were battling in the Thanksgiving Classic, and it was when that crooked promoter Dale Richards was running the place, and anyhow, long story short, drivers got together with about 25, 30 laps to go. Jamie Cottle and Deke McCaskill getting together. Matt McCall and all them are there. Joey Coulter. And they called the caution, but they didn't put Cottle to the rear. They said, hey, it's a racing incident. Everything stays as it is. And I don't know if you knew this or not, Cody, but Jamie Cottle crossed the line being scored as the winner, but Dale Richards goes down to victory lane. And I'm down there with him, and he whispers in Jamie's ear and says, hey, you're disqualified. You're disqualified from this race. You're not the winner. And a lot of people don't know this, but this is kind of what started to get Joey Coulter, the Tampa, Florida driver, to get into the foot with NASCAR. He basically won the Thanksgiving Classic. Well, the deal was, controversial as it be or not, Randy Renfro. Cody, there's another popular name of Southern National.
Oh, yeah,
and he was the car guy behind Joey Coulter's program. And he told Joey Coulter, if you win a major late model race, then I will put you in NASCAR truck and Xfinity competition. And that's where it all started for Joey Coulter to get into NASCAR, was winning that Thanksgiving Classic, even though per se he wasn't the top dog. After Jamie Cottle got disqualified, all hell broke loose down at post-race. I remember there was pushing and shoving, and I think a firearm might have got pulled out.
Oh my goodness.
maybe some wrenches, but when it was all said and done, Joey Coulter was awarded the win, and I'll never forget that night because every single person, and I haven't seen it since then, Cody, but every single person that ran and competed in the Thanksgiving Classic made a beeline up the tower steps at the press box to get their money before they left the track that night. They wanted to get paid. They wanted their money.
It sounds like a moment at Carteret that I had with Brendan Clements. Brendan Clements stopping on the front stretch and rushing the tower at Carteret and having to be stopped. So, I mean, it's crazy, what racers will do for money. I mean, when it's in their blood and it's their passion, I've seen a lot of them do a lot of things. So definitely, ways they'll go with it. So.
Well, anyhow, we're just kind of reminiscing on some of the great stories of the Thanksgiving Classic. Of course, NASCAR driver Denny Hamlin cut his teeth at Southern National.
The ARCA series went a couple years ago. Ross Boo Boo Dalton actually got to race in that.
Yeah.
Was it K&N or ARCA series that raced here?
Well, the K&N series raced, and ARCA did run also at Southern National in years past. ARCA Menards E series did, but you think of the big races and all the special events is obviously, I guess they're going to run the clock out. I mean, in my opinion, guys, you've been practicing all friggin' week.
Right?
I mean, damn, you practiced on Tuesday, and then you ran practice last night and ran a heat race. And recapping the heat race, am I right? Heat 1 was a caution fest.
Yeah.
Heat number 2 was clean and green. Am I right, Cody?
Well, they had one caution, 5 laps into Heat 1, and then after that it went to clean and green. And Josh Cottle and Jordan Blair absolutely put on a show. Josh Cottle was on Jordan Blair's bumper, had all the time and opportunity to move him, but never touched him one time. And Jordan Blair went on to win, so that put him starting 4th tonight.
There you go. Of course, Kyle Terzak picked up the win in the Legends Thanksgiving Classic, which was just about an hour ago, just wrapping up, of course. I'm Wesley Outland. Cody Deemers is alongside. Cody, real quickly, man, thank our sponsors for making this Thanksgiving Classic happen on Elevated TV, bud.
Yeah, so want to kind of run down for what's happened. Want to give a big shout out to Irvin Used Auto Parts for coming on board as the presenting sponsor of the Thanksgiving Classic. Appreciate them. We want to give a big shout out to D&M Lawn Care. David Hall, if you're in the Beaufort, North Carolina area, Morehead City, North Carolina area, around that area, make sure you hit him up, get him come cut your grass. He does a phenomenal job. Want to give him a presenting sponsor of the heat races. Thank you to Staley Performance for putting up the money for the $35 to win for the heat races. Want to give a big shout out to Ross Boo Boo Dalton, putting up $50 for halfway break leader. Elevated TV put up $20 for the pole award. And then I know I'm forgetting a few. Jason Furr put up an extra $100 courtesy of himself to add to the purse. So these guys race for $100. They're racing for $200 tonight to win. I want to give a big shout out to Steel Graphic and Designs. Michael Steele over there, he does a phenomenal job on these iRacing race cars, and he's learning how to do them in real life as well. He's giving a free wrap to the best appearing car. Go over to Elevated TV on Facebook. Make sure you like the picture that you like. And Max Bender, he's going to give $5 to the Tough Luck, or Hard Charger. He's giving Tough Luck Award a free wrap, and then he's done 2 free hero cards for the heat races. So sponsors every which way but sideways and Sunday, and I want to give a big shout out to them and iRacing for the great sim that they put up for us.
Yeah, countdown clock now down at 7 minutes, over 7 minutes remaining here, but leading up to this event, 250 laps, okay, 250 laps, halfway, lap 125. Ross Boo Boo Dalton and his business is putting up the $50 halfway leader bonus money. There will be a break at lap 125. As we mentioned, they'll be able to put on another set of tires and fill up the tanks. There will be one fast repair for these drivers only. One fast repair, that's it. And then, of course, 3 attempts, am I right? 3 attempts at overtime if need be for the race.
Yes, sir. 3 attempts at overtime. If we can't get it done in 3 attempts, the race is official. If we make it back to the white flag on a green-white checkered, then the race is official, even if they wreck coming off of 4.
That's right. Yeah, look at what happened to the Legends race, man. They came to the white flag and
actually they made it to the white flag and
they made it. Yeah. I did a race the other night for iRace, and a matter of fact, for NASRA, where there was a truck race at Daytona. They actually came to the white flag, and that's what I was thinking about. They crossed the line. The leaders took the white flag, and then there was a 30-truck pileup behind them. The big one happened, going back into turn number 1 at the start-finish line, and they didn't throw a caution. They kept the race going, even though we ended up with 5 trucks to determine the winner, and then the top 5 took each other out, and the guy 4th and 5th ended up winning. Yeah, I mean, so the same thing here. If the white flag flies, the leader takes the white. Everybody else will have to either get on the binders or to avoid a wreck if one happens, or try to make whatever efforts are needed to make a run to try to get past them. It's the 2023 Virtual Thanksgiving Classic, Irvin Used Auto Parts. Again here, iRacing, and all these drivers getting into position, getting ready to go from Southern National Motorsports Park. This is the inaugural event, and Cody, I hope we do this for more years to come. Obviously, the real race has been going on for 23 years. I know they missed a couple of years because the track was shut down, but because I want to say it was like 98, 99 when the Thanksgiving Classic actually started. And then when Southern National shut down after Kirk Leone had it before Michael Diaz got the track, it went on like 4 years without 4 or 5 years not doing anything. But you knew whoever the promoter was, whether it was Diaz or whoever, got the racetrack back, your signature race would be and will always be the Thanksgiving Classic. And, of course, thanks to the virtual simulation world now with AI and iRacing, we are now able to make history ourselves on this night and hopefully for years to come with the Thanksgiving Classic on iRacing.
Definitely. I do a lot with AI over here and try to do crazy broadcasts with them. But this is the first time I've tried this, and we've had some hiccups. But it's kind of I feel like in real racing you have hiccups too. So and you just kind of surpass them. You got this week. Last week was the Fall Brawl. This week's our Thanksgiving Classic. The next week you got the iRacing Winter Derby. That's $1,100 to win. I think it pays out the top 15. I'm going to be over there spotting for the number 17 machine at Chase L. Pierce. We're going to try to go win that thing. And then the following week after that, Chase has got Omega Cup. I'll be spotting for him in that. That's another $1,400 to win race. So, Wesley, it's crazy to see how far iRacing has come with the sim. I mean, I remember when half the tracks that are on here now weren't even a thing on here. So it's definitely cool to see big money races, especially $1,100 for a sim racing event for the late models is crazy.
Oh, yeah, you're exactly right. And I'll be honest, I was kind of thinking, man, why wouldn't you jump on board and do the thing, do the Snowball Derby as well? But hindsight, this race you're promoting is definitely the Thanksgiving Classic means more to you for sure. It's a special event.
And it does mean a lot to me because I've personally been here in real life. Me and Travis Miller, we have went down here and we won the race in 2014.
Oh yeah,
We've won a lot of the Thanksgiving classes here to this race, and I've never personally been to the Snowball Derby. I would love to go, but this track means a lot to me. One of the first big tracks that I ever went to is for a short track scene, and it's always had a special place in my heart, just like Coastal Plains Raceway, otherwise known as New River All-American Speedway. Anthony and Tanya, they've done a phenomenal job with that race. I wish they would put that track on here because I would do some big races, try to, commence a Battle of the Stars at New River if they were ever put on here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Hey, by the way, don't forget the third annual, the New Year's Day Hangover will be, of course, at New River All-American Speedway, and that will be on Monday, January the 1st. Monday, January the 1st in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Of course, that
amazing
is always
racetrack.
A big race. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I learned to race there. Like, I went from waving the flags in turn 2 to racing there. I mean, it's just, it's crazy to see, the older I've got, the more involved in racing. And I always thought, Wesley, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a race car driver. And I was a race car driver for a little while, and then I kind of stepped back and become crew chief. And now I'm into the announcing side and kind of see what you work with, because I always thought announcing and producing and putting on a show was so easy. No, it's a job. I mean, you got to have your ducks in a row to announce, to produce. I mean, I'm over here, filling out paperwork, trying to get everybody's names, numbers, sponsors, hometowns, and then memorizing all of it. I mean, it's a lot. So I commend everybody that does it in real life.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to say thank you as well for, helping to do that for me because, and honestly, and I've said this, whether it's real life or virtual for these broadcasts that I've done in my career for 29 years, can't believe January the 1st will be my 30th year being an announcer in sports. But more is better than less. If you prep and you prepare and you have information on these guys, you might not use it a nickel, Cody, but it's good to have it. It's good to have it. And when you came to me the other day, a couple of weeks ago, asking me about being on the team for this, or actually when I saw it, I said, "Hey, man, we've done these other races together. I think the last time we worked with each other was in September at Martinsville for the Martinsville race." And I said, "Hey, man, you need to do this. You need to do this. Do this with your graphic. Do this with your promotion. Have a roster for every class. It'll make the race more informative. It'll find something to talk about if we do have a down time of the race or a boring time of the race." And right now, we are 20 seconds away, Cody Deemers. I know you can feel the electricity in the air, buddy.
Yep.
As we're about ready to introduce the starting lineup for the inaugural Irvin Used Auto Parts Thanksgiving Classic here in Southern National.
Definitely. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be thrilling. Wesley, I'm sure we're going to have a couple cautions, but I'm hoping for a really good race. I'm hoping the fans at home enjoy it on this beautiful Thursday night, and I hope they put on a show for you guys. I mean, we've prepared, we've grinded, we've set things, we've done our best, and now it's up to 24 of the best to go out there and duke it out for 250 laps.
Yep, 24 charter members of the Fraternal Order of Go Fast ready to giddy up and gallop on the virtual pavement here at the Southern National Motorsports Park for the Irvin Thanksgiving Classic here. Now listen, let me explain to you what's about to go on. The drivers in the practice session, which you see Caleb Hall up on the top, he was the fastest in practice. They will go to the back. The pace truck will roll. The field will then be told to get in their race order. Their racing order. And while they are doing that right now with the field gridding, we're going to give you the starting lineup of the official start of the race for this event. So let's go with the lineup on the pole for the Thanksgiving Classic, obviously. If we can get the graphic.
Yeah. We don't actually have it on the graphic. We'll have to let the guys get situated.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. No, we'll just go by the Discord picture that you sent me. I know you sent a post with that, right?
Yep.
Well, so let me find that here. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can find it. Dead air. I'm sorry. So, while I'm trying to find the roster to fill in dead air for the starting lineup here, Cody, let everyone know that basically how it was that we come to the lineup for this race tonight.
Yeah, so the way we come to this lineup, and you're going to see, I want to mention this real fast, you're going to see two green and black cars. They are teammates. They are in the same car, but they're going to be different numbered cars. They done that to race, so we're not going to get mixed. The 2 car is going to be Nolan Marshall. The 15 car is going to be Mark Willard. Just want to point that out real fast so I'm not confused, Wesley's not confused, and you guys at home watching are not confused. They done that kind of to be teammates. They have kind of different sponsors, but they are in the same colored car. They did not mean to do it with the same colors, but it kind of happened like that. So it is going to be like that.
So I found the lineup here. So let's give you the starting lineup for the inaugural Thanksgiving Classic here at Southern National. Okay, this is not the lineup as the field is rolling behind the pace truck now. They're going to stop on the backstretch and get in this order for the lineup that I give you here. So here is your starting lineup as the drivers are being introduced. The man that'll be on the pole, that will lead him with a green flag in the Zeem setup shop, number 28 out of Charlotte, North Carolina. It will be Landon Rapp. Landon Rapp right there to his outside from Insafield, Ontario, Canada. Also in the Zeem setup shop, number 16, Dustin Momberket. Moving on to row number 2, your heat race winner, race 1 last night, the Mox Tire and Automotive, number 2 from Winston-Salem. That is Mark Willard. Mark Willard to his outside. It is Jordan Blair. Jordan Blair, of course, in the 78 from Walkertown, North Carolina. The Jewelry Exchange Setzer Racing and Development entry. Row number 3 will find Enoch McNeil. Brandon Clements is on the roster, but it's not him. It is Enoch McNeil, the driver out of Burlington in the number 05. And, of course, his sponsors are Zeem Setup Shop and J. Dalton Auto Tech. To his outside, in the 6th position, Josh Cottle. Josh Cottle in the 13 from Anderson, South Carolina. The Rocket Eye Race Wraps entry. Of course, Elite Performance from Anderson. Moving on to row number 4. Chase Pierce in the number 17 machine from Lexington, the Top Hat Comics Race EPI entry. And to his outside is Kyle Terzak from Stafford, Virginia, the winner of the Legends Thanksgiving Classic. Ready to see what he can do in the Zeem's Setup Shop Wraps, number 51. Moving on now to your top 10. Ross Boo Boo Dalton in a special snowflake holiday car for the number 50 machine, the 50 Star out of Liberty, North Carolina. The Zeems Setup Shop, J. Dalton Auto Tech, Hudson Auto Works, number 50 to his outside, the 62 entry machine, and that, of course, is Dominique Lumley. Dominique Lumley in that car. As the field getting into order, he's from Lexington, North Carolina, the Gatsby's Pub entry. Fresh in from Nashville, part of the NASCAR banquet, Chase Robertson in another holiday-looking machine, the RaceEPI.com, number 31 from Walburg, North Carolina. And to his outside, starting 12th, Jason Ferree from Houston, Texas, in the 118 Race EPI number 22. There's Jason Ferree in the 118. There he is up on the top there. Beautiful looking car, and a lot of these drivers are donning holiday colors, if you will. Rest of the lineup includes Adam Baker in the 22 from Winston-Salem. Cliff Mullins, my apologies, from Danville, Virginia. He'll start 14th. Daryl Dillon will be alongside in the next row. And to his outside, it will be Aaron Stoltz ready to go. Moving on to row number 9. Edmund Jones in the machine right there from Yakima, Washington, the 00. And to his outside, Davis Warren. Davis Warren out of Mount Pleasant, Texas in the grease car, number 70. Row number 10 on the grid here for the Thanksgiving Classic. Nolan Marshall will be right there from King, North Carolina, the Ram Mock Berth entry. To his outside, Austin Taylor, ready to go. Austin B. from Winston-Salem, the Pro Choice Detailing, number 51. He's actually in the number 20. The rest of the lineup will find Cole Brannick from Winston-Salem in the 43 Randy Morris Towing entry. To his outside of the 22nd spot, a racer in the real life world as well, Ethan Johnson, ready to go from Hudson, North Carolina in the, of course, Ride Fabs number entry. And the final row from Littleton, North Carolina, it is Buddy Isles Jr. from the Littleton Mafia in the famed Flying 11 Pure Year Tank Lines Chevrolet. And to his outside to fill the lineup in the inaugural Thanksgiving Classic, besides Buddy Isles Jr., is Rocky Mount, Virginia, number 14, Caleb Hall, the Ryco Aftershock Setup Solutions, number 14. Cody Deemers, there's the lineup as we come to green here in a few laps for the Thanksgiving Classic, presented by Irvin Used Auto Parts at Southern National Motorsports Park.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting, definitely going to be fun. And I'm ready to bring you all the action. Looks like the race control is going to give them an extra lap. When we come here at Green Flag Races in just a moment, we're going to have a time of your lives, Wesley.
That'll be another lap or so. I think they're going to let them know here. One more. They got to let us know because obviously the pace truck's already on pit road. You got to let us know when they're coming to one to go. I'm going to say I think they're going to get the one to go this time by. They just got the one to go. They're getting bunched up with each other, and we're ready to get this started. Ready for 250 laps. Happy Turkey Murder Day about 6 days later. The official inaugural Thanksgiving Classic here at Southern National. Ready to come to the line, and they're going to go another lap. Damn it, I thought they were coming to green. The way that they looked like they were perfectly assembled to come to the start.
Right.
So they're going to go another lap here. You got to let me know, Cody, in my ear when the race director says they're coming to green.
It should be coming, I believe, this time.
This time by. All right, this time by. Hashtag no fake news here. Let's try it now as they come out of turn 4.
Fake news.
And no, they're not. Yep, hashtag fake news. All right, we'll try it again. All right.
We're good, Ross.
So here's what happened.
Yep, we're good.
Getting ready to roll.
Here's what happened, and the race director just said we're getting ready to roll. Here's what happened. The lineup was not correct. It was from the practice order earlier where Caleb Hall was at the top. They had to put the drivers in the lineup from the race from qualifying to the heats. And we're ready now. Green flag in the air. The Thanksgiving Classic underway. Strap in. 250 laps on a Thursday night at Southern National, and we're green.
We'll come back just a second. There we go. We're back.
We come back and we are under the caution flag as well. Just as fast as we got this race started, we got problems. Man.
Giving it just a second. ATVO crash. There we go. We're good now. Looks like Edmund Jones.
So we got a problem on the racetrack. Edmund Jones putting us under the yellow flag. We'll try to find a replay here to show you what happened as we are under the yellow flag. Couple other cars involved. Edmund Jones and whoever's in the 70 machine also. And that'll put us under caution here. Now, this is not what you wanted to have, Caleb. Davis Warren and Edmund Jones getting involved in an accident here on the start of the opening lap.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely not what you wanted to see. And looks like all the problems are fixed. Got everything situated. And, yeah, definitely early on. Definitely still got to be patient. Not too sure what's going on. I don't know if it's on their end, the lobby's end, or if it's on my end. Why the cars keep disappearing. So, but we're going to do the best with what we got, Wesley.
Well, hopefully that'll all get sorted out for sure, as right now we're in the opening lap. Rap is the man that's up in front, obviously, in that beautiful-looking machine. And I'll tell you one of the things I noticed, obviously, too, Cody, that there's a lot of holiday colors on these race cars, too, man. A lot of these drivers put in the festive look for the upcoming Christmas season. Yeah,
definitely. You got Jason Furr. He's got the Christmas scheme on there. Not too sure what's going on with the lobby, why it's glitching in and out like it is. And we're back underway green, but on my end, I am glitched out, and the lobby has frozen. So let's take a quick commercial break real fast, Wesley, and come back.
All right, we'll be right back, everybody. We got a little technical issue there we're trying to work on, and we'll have some more from the Thanksgiving Classic in just a moment. Just hang with us.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you will be able to hear me, but you can't watch the video feed because we're understanding that we are going into a virtual weather delay, if you will. That's the nice way of summing up our coverage on Elevated TV. There is a problem with the iRacing server. This is not just on the broadcast feed. It is on the entire spectrum of what would be going on here tonight for the race at the Thanksgiving Classic. Even the drivers are having a problem. Even the drivers are having issues, if I'm correct, Cody, trying to get into the race. So what they are doing is they are killing this feed. They are restarting it up again. There will be no practice sessions. There's not going to be no 20-minute practice, blah, blah, like we saw before we dropped the green. Everybody's going to get their original spots back, and we will start this race over. So, Cody, whether we can put up a video feed or if we need to go to a commercial break, again, let everyone know this is something that's going on iRacing's end. This is not per se an Elevated TV issue or your end on the broadcast. This is something that's affecting everybody, and because of that, we are trying to totally redo the Thanksgiving Classic.
Yeah, definitely. We've just got race control in here real fast, so we're going to take a quick commercial break, get a word with him, and let him know what's going on, and we'll be back here in just a minute.
All right, everybody, stick by with us. We'll be back with more as, again, we reset the servers for the Irvin Used Auto Parts Thanksgiving Classic. We'll have to do a reset, and then we'll go for 250 laps from Southern National.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Thanksgiving Classic presented by Irvin Used Auto Parts from the virtual Southern National Motorsports Park. So I'm understanding that the iRacing server crashed and almost 10,000 people had issues because of it, but it's all back up and running now, and the field is getting assembled behind the pace car here at Southern National Motorsports Park. I'm Wesley Outland. Cody Deemers is alongside, and we're ready to bring it to you. 250 laps, take two. Cody, jokingly, the weather delay has subsided. Had a little pop-up rain shower, as Too Extreme said in the chat box, but just to jokingly you make something out of it, being positive, humorous.
Right.
We're ready to go again.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's crazy because at nighttime, Wesley, the real racetrack, you wouldn't see them even try to even attempt to drive the racetrack. So it's crazy with the iRacing sim. We don't have to worry about that. We can just re-rack and go again. So
that's exactly right. Yeah, and we've already met the drivers. The lineup has been set for this race. Since again, these drivers getting into position. By the way, I will let you know that on time and scoring, you'll see a driver by the name of Phil Hall. That is actually the 2 car of Aaron Stoltz. Aaron Stoltz out of Walkertown, North Carolina, is the driver that actually is being named Hall. Some of the numbers match and the names match on time and scoring and on the cars, and then some of them are different. So we'll do our best. We've got a roster in front of us. And again, we look forward to bringing this one to you. 250 laps is the distance. There will be a halfway break at lap number 125 where the drivers will be able to add fuel and take on a new set of tires. The original set on the car, as well as another set at the halfway break. Halfway money is up for grabs as well. And in addition to that, obviously, there will be, all right, here we go. That looks like they're having magical cars again for position. But it looks like they're all getting into their spots here, so. And they'll make another lap or so around here, preliminary lap-wise, and I think they normally go 2 laps on a short track for iRacing, and hopefully by the time we get all that corrected, Cody, we'll be ready to show them the one to go and get ready to go racing here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And we're going to run down the starting lineup real fast. Kind of give you guys a heads up what you're walking back into. Row 1's going to be Landon Rapp and Dustin Monberquette. Row 2's going to be Mark Willard and Jordan Blair. Row 3, Brandon Clements, Josh Cottle. Row 4, Chase L. Pierce, Kyle Turzak. Row 5's going to be Ross Dalton, Dominic Lumley. Row 6 is going to be Chase Robertson, Jason Ferray, is how he said you pronounce it. Row 7 is going to be Adam Baker, Cliff Mullins. Row 8, Daryl Dillon, Aaron Stoltz. Row 9, Edmund Jones and Davis Warren. Row 10 is going to be Nolan Marshall, Austin B. Taylor. Row 11, Cole Brannick and Ethan Johnson. Wesley, your final row is going to be Buddy Isles Jr. and Caleb Hall.
There you go. Couple of late entries that made it in there. The Littleton Mafia and the iRacing Guru from the Commonwealth in Virginia. So there is the lineup ready to go with Rapp and Momberket set to bring the field to the green flag. Like I said, I like the festive colors with a lot of the Christmas designs on some of these race cars, and we're ready to bring the field 2x2x2 to the green flag here. Thanks again for you joining us. Thank you for your patience. Hit that like button, subscribe at Elevated TV, and let them know that we are back on the air and we are ready to do this here now. The Irvin Used Auto Parts Thanksgiving Classic. There's the weather conditions. 65 degrees, 66 track temp, air temp on the virtual sim. Oh, little wind speed from the north, not much. Partly cloudy skies, 1% humidity. Perfect fall night for racing on the sim in the Thanksgiving Classic. Again, big thanks to Irvin Used Auto Parts for being the entitlement sponsor for this inaugural Thanksgiving Classic. Almost $200 and more up for grabs. It's time to do it now. Pace car is on the pit lane. Here we go. The Thanksgiving Classic is green at Southern National. You have a virtual race. Let's get it started. Rapp will work off of turn number 4. 1 lap in, 249 to go, and he is the leader as they dive off into 1 and 2 there, Cody.
Oh, yeah, and it looks like Mark Willer going to get the door of Jordan Blair there as they work through turn 1 and 2. Back 2-3. Chase L. Pierce to the inside of the 78. Here comes Terzak. Terzak, your Legend Car race winner a while ago. He's looking to move up on the inside of Jordan Blair. That's for the 6th position.
Yeah, Kyle Terzak was the man that was able to get that Stafford, Virginia Legends car to the win light at the end of the Legends event here. Part of the preliminaries here tonight at the Thanksgiving Classic. And right now, about to be a handful of laps around the 4/10 mile. 17 degrees of banking here at Kinley. Virtual Southern National scraping off the wall goes one car. They all work to the bottom of the racetrack off of turn number 4. 1 or 2 cars running the top shelf. That's about it. As right now you watch them conga line into 1 and 2, and a big lead pulled away now by almost a second by Rapp in the number 1 spot, 28 car.
Yeah, he's driving away with this thing, man. You got to begin to wonder, is he using up any tire as the way he's driving? I mean, Momberket, it looks like the rest of the field is saving. Like, I mean, nobody's really pushing. It's a single file, like you said, Wesley, a conga line.
Landon Rapp out of Charlotte, North Carolina, the 28 machine, sponsored by Zeems Setup Shop, leads the way. There's the interval now from 1st to 2nd. Dustin Momberket there in that 2nd spot. Then you got Willard in the 3rd. That's one of the heat race winners from yesterday in the preliminaries of the Thanksgiving Classic. And right now, the top 15, all single file. Now you see him shuffle out of line. Here comes the 50 star. Ross Boo Boo Dalton down to the inside of Willard. He'll carry Pierce to the inside as they work their way across the stripe and head to 1.
Excuse Wesley on that. That's the 05 of Enoch McNeil, not the 50 car. But
my apologies.
You're all good. Chase L. Pierce.
They look alike.
You're right. They definitely look alike. As you see, Willard looks like he's getting shuffled out on the top side. Wesley, you know in years past and even in real life, top side's not where you want to be here at Southern National.
No, it's not. And there goes that 50 star of Ross Boo Boo Dalton, the blue car, the holiday-looking machine for the Hudson Works entry. Now he'll climb in to the number 7 spot. So he is starting to make his way into the top 10, into the top 5 as they work their way. And you see the 30 machine down to the inside. That's the Robertson car. Chase Robertson with a festive-looking holiday with snows and trees and snow globes on that nice-looking race car as they work their way to the back straightaway. I just think of the lap times that they're putting down here. This is how fast this race can go by if you can ride and drive and knock off laps quickly. And this is exactly what they're doing here in take 2 of the official Thanksgiving Classic. Right now we're working 12 laps completed of this event, and they're flying around this racetrack in the early going.
Oh, yeah, as we see, they're looking at the fastest lap from so far with 14 laps complete. It's going to be Rapp with the fastest right now with a 14.081, so he is moving. He is cruising around this racetrack.
Oh, yeah, right now, Rapp, the leader. He's up in that top spot. Dustin Momberket in 2nd. followed by Enoch McNeil in third. Enoch McNeil, this is a driver that knows Southern National very well. Him and his friend Ross Boo Boo Dalton, as we mentioned, normally drive cars that look similar to that color right there. That's why I kind of got the 50 Star confused, because it looks just like that machine. But right now, Ross Boo Boo Dalton outside the top 5, along with Terzak and Pierce, the top 5. Then it's Blair, Dalton, Cottle, Robertson, and Willard, the top 10. And Buddy Isles Jr. is in 21st, as you'll see the 11th through 20th on the ticker, and then the rest of them for 24 drivers. What a field for the inaugural Thanksgiving Classic here at Southern National. In the early going, they're about to put 20 laps into it, Cody.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, man, I am so proud of these guys. Being a racer motor and then trying to broadcast and announce and, trying to get cars and do all of it, man, by myself. Ross has helped me out a lot. So I give him a big shout out for sticking his hand in and helping me. Kyler Staley's helped me out a lot. There's a lot of people that has helped me put this together. It's not been a one-man show, but I mean, I'm very impressed that we're 20 laps complete. I mean, we couldn't hardly make one lap in the heat race, and these guys are showing that, hey, that was just a heat race. This is 250 laps.
Yeah, 230 laps to go here. Remember the halfway break on lap number 125 in the Irvin Used Auto Parts Thanksgiving Classic here at the virtual Southern National Motorsports Park underway. A lot of money on the line. The bragging rights on the line to be the inaugural virtual winner of this fall Thanksgiving Classic. As right now the leaders work their way back into the corner. We got a battle going on now for this position coming off of Willard. This is Willard going at it right there for 12th, 13th, 14th. Willard, Dylan, Faree, all in this mix as they work the backstretch going to turn 3.
Definitely. And Mama Cat started reeling in Rapp a little bit. Maybe Rapp thought, hey, man, I was pushing a little too hard too early on. Or, maybe he was just filling the track out. Maybe filling the car out. See how it was, going to be. So definitely interesting to say the least to see, Mama Cat running back down the 28 machine as they work back off into 1 and 2.
Landon Rapp is still the man leading the way, but that interval for second is closing. Here comes Dustin Momberket ready to make the close in from Innisfil, Ontario, Canada. He runs at Stars Speedway and other racetracks and all across. Dustin Momberket now bringing them down the back straightaway, trying to close in on the leader, and also Enoch McNeil and Clements on the top of the scoring. That's Enoch McNeil right there in that third spot, the driver out of Burlington, followed by Kyle Tarzik, and Terzak was the winner, of course, of the Legends race. Boo Boo Dalton is in the top 5. If he can get around Blair, all these drivers in that click single file out of 4.
Yeah, Boo Boo Dalton looks like he's just kind of riding. Jordan Blair and him are teammates, and just kind of just being patient. I mean, it's still early on, 27 laps, 250. You still got a halfway break. You still got a long ways to go. I mean, there's no reason to be pushing right now. I feel, Wesley, I feel 50 laps to go is going to be when you see these guys kind of go pedal to the metal.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And, of course, Rapp is still the man leading the way. He just stays in his line right there, working off the corner. Believe it or not, they're closing in on lap traffic. The number 27 machine is about to go a lap down as all of this is going on the racetrack. They are reeling in the back marker cars that are up ahead, and that's Ethan Johnson, the Hudson, North Carolina driver in the 27 machine, already having problems, and he's on the tail end of the lead lap. He desperately wants to see a yellow flag. Don't know if he'll get it, though. The leaders are running him down out of turn 4. Lap 30 this time by.
Yeah, Ethan Johnson looks like he's going to be right here. He looks like him short in 3 and 4. He's going to go high, and the field's going to go, whoa, big slip by the Enoch McNeil. Now's when it's going to get slicey and dicey because everybody's going to have to try to get around that lap car of Ethan Johnson as they work down the front stretch. And looks like about the top 5 or 8 going to make it easy. Ethan going to go high and kind of just right out of the way here.
Props to Ethan Johnson, got out of harm's way, got to the top of the racetrack, and he said, let have at it, boys. It's in the early going here. He might get a caution, he might get a lucky dog to get a lap back here, to get a free pass to get back in this race. He's the first car, 1 lap down now. Brannick is going to go a lap down, and we got a caution. Trouble on the back straightaway here on lap number 33, and it's the 43 car into the fence. Trouble involving the machine there. And that is going to be Cole Brannick. Cole Brannick from Winston-Salem. Bad damage on the right front, on the front of the car. The front clip all torn off. He'll have to take a fast repair quickly. And here's a look at what happened to the 43 Toyota as he just got loose and got into the crossover there on the back stretch entrance to the pit lane. And there's the damage on the 43 to put us under the yellow flag.
Yeah, definitely a tough break there as he's coming down pit road. And Gonna be probably a lengthy pit stop for him. We see Cliff Mullins coming down pit road. A couple of other drivers coming down pit road. Looks like Cole was on top of Caleb. Not too sure what happened there with Cole. As you see the cars coming down pit road, looks like there's going to be Davis Warren's going to be on pit road, Cliff Mullins. So tough break there for the number 43 of Cole Brannick.
Man, Cole Brannick just drove under the back end of the 14 of Caleb Hall's car, putting us under the caution flag in the pit area, if you will. As
36
we got some more
laps,
cars.
though. Wow.
Yeah, man, what a props to him. There's Cliff Mullins, the Danville, Virginia driver, the Spinning Venom podcast, number 37. He'll enter back onto the racetrack, and obviously we'll get these guys in position. Now, listen, here's the rules under caution. We will go double file for the restart. There will be 2 attempts at a restart double file. If we get a caution after 2 attempts back-to-back on double file restarts, then in the effort to get the show back rolling again, they will obviously, Cody, throw a caution, and it will be a single file restart.
Yes, definitely. And I do want to point out something. We actually have 3 or 4 drivers parked on the backstretch. Caleb Hall being one. So that being said, Caleb actually has to come in the front stretch pits, drive all the way around through 1 and 2 on the apron, drive in the backstretch pits. He can't just come off of 2 and come in the backstretch pits. So he's actually got a longer pit than what Rapp or Mama Ken or the rest of the guys do.
Yeah, it's a tough break for the guy that actually was the last entry of the event. The driver, of course, Caleb Hall, as the pace car drops onto the pit lane. Here we go, back to green here in the Thanksgiving Classic. Working about 38 laps completed. 39 is the lap now, and we're already approaching 200 laps to go, 220 to be exact, and they work back into the corner to turn 3. Here comes Enoch McNeil. He battles along the outside of Bombercat, and here comes the cavalry with Tarzak, Blair, Dalton, all in that battle as right now Rapp pulls away out of 2.
Yeah, props to that Enoch McNeil. That kid's 14, 15 years old out here racing with some of these the best of the best on iRacing. And Wesley, he's up front racing just as hard as they are. As it looks like it's a slice fest to get down to the bottom. How about right here behind Connell?
Yeah, once they get back 2 by 2, the outside lane quickly got to get these cars back to the bottom of the racetrack on the apron of the speedway. That's the fast line around the 4/10 mile Southern National. Back up to 17 degrees, the bank into the back straightaway now as Rapp is the leader. Malmerket in second. They're getting a little crazy loose behind them in the back. They hold it together and they work their way again out of 4.
Yep, looks like everybody kind of getting single file back. Everybody still, hey, it's early on, 43 laps. I need to be patient. Still got a long ways to go. Don't need to be pushing the car and burning the tires up. So definitely let's see. Buddy Isles. Buddy Isles started dead last, the final row. And he's worked his way up to, looks like 15th, 14th.
Side by side, Buddy Isles Jr. alongside that number 7 machine of Daryl Dillon. As that goes on for 13th and 14th, high climber of the race, Buddy Isles Jr. started 23rd. He has worked his way up into the top 15 now. He's up to 13th spot. Still battles alongside with Dillon up on the outside. He's got also the machine of
Austin Taylor.
The 14 Taylor there also in the mix. They're all trying to fight, get back at that. That's probably the best battle on the racetrack, if you will, is right now. There you see them side by side. We pick up the leaders again, and you know, Rapp got a good jump on the restart, Cody, but not very pull away this time from second Mombercat on back as they work into 3.
Yeah, definitely not driving away from him this time. I mean, he's only a second, the point going behind him. I mean, only right there on his back bumper. And it almost got to make me wonder if Rapp was kind of seeing what his car could do there at the start to know what he's got to do at the end. You see a lot of times drivers try that and then back up to the field and kind of just relax. But I'm kind of wondering what he was doing there.
Coming to the line this time by, it'll be lap number 50. 200 laps to go. 75 laps remain in the first segment of the Thanksgiving Classic here at Southern National. Had a little hiccup getting things started. An iRacing server crashed. We had to start all over again, but since then, one caution to slow this race, and it has been all Landon Rapp taking them to school here at Kinley on the high banks out of 4.
And 150 more laps around this 4/10 mile high bank racetrack here in Lacoma, North Carolina. And Wesley, Mombercat is hanging right with Rapp. He is not letting him get out of his sights. And guess what, Wesley? These are teammates. So you got to wonder if they're going to race each other hard as we got a battle for third.
Yeah, you got Bombercat and Rat battling for the lead. Now you got also McNeil and Blair right there for third and fourth. Tarzak, the course winner in the Legends race, up in this battle alongside with Ross Boo Boo Dalton. Here comes Boo Boo, the blue number 50. He gives way to Enoch McNeil. He gives him a little help. There's the wingman. There's the teammates from Walkertown, and they're down into 1 and 2. Now to 3 and 4. They're flying around Southern National.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're going to look right here at the fastest lap so far. Rap still with a 14.081, and he's showing why he's got the fastest lap. I mean, he's out front, kind of cruising, but I still feel like a lot of these guys in the back still being patient, still laying back, still holding back a lot of what they got. I mean, it's 55 laps into the race. I mean, you just can't push yourself. You got one set of tires, so you burn your tires up too early on, and you got to take them before halfway. Then guess what? You're kind of screwed for almost 200 or so laps.
Yeah, back down that front straightaway again. Now back into turn number 1 and 2 here at Southern National on the high banks. Back up 17 degrees to banking off of 3 and 4. And Rap still the leader. Momberket in second. Blair the third. Tarzak, of course, is fourth. And the driver, Ross Boo Boo Dalton, currently in the top 5 along with McNeil. All this going on now as we watch these guys fly through the back stretch on that speed shot cam, the speedy cam, down into turn number 3, and man, they're flying around this racetrack. Hard to believe, dude. We're coming up on lap 60. Less than what? It's 50 laps to go here, 60 or so laps to go in stage 1 or the first segment of the race. Remember, there will be a mandatory caution at halfway, lap 125. Money up for grabs to the halfway leader, and I just think you got to get to the first half of this race, and then it gets wild and woolly to the finish of the race in the Thanksgiving Classic for 250 laps, Cody.
Oh yeah, you're definitely going to see like we talked a while ago. 125 laps, you're going to see it kind of go clean and green. When we get past that 125, it's going to look like an LCQ at Martinsville. It's going to be wild.
Well, I mean, you got to pace yourself. And we talked about this when we came on the air on Elevated TV. You got to pace yourself. That's one of the big things I love about the fall, the big money races at the end of the year. Martinsville, obviously, and the Valley Star 300. Florence, the South Carolina 400, the Thanksgiving Classic, the Hampton Heat, of course, the Fall Brawl at Hickory. And again, the Snowball Derby this weekend at Pensacola, 300 laps. Well, this is 250 laps here on the virtual iRacing track at Southern National. And bottom line is this, usually your late model races, 50, 75, 100 laps maybe on a weekend show. Now you're running a big event. To be there at the end, you must first finish, and you got to take care of your car at around this stretch of the race here.
Oh yeah, and I always say looks like Cole Brennick's going to be going a lap down. I always say, patience is key. Anybody can run a 40-lap race. Anybody. But you get out here on a 250-lap race, you're going to see who your drivers are and who your racers are. And a driver is somebody that can drive anything, drive any amount of laps, drive anywhere. A racer is somebody that can race 40 laps straight and they're good. But then you put them in a 250-lap race, they don't have no patience. They burn their stuff up and then they fall to the back. That's the difference between a driver and racer. And you see it here when you have these big 250-lap races.
You got to think, too, also, Cody, you got to race smart because you got one fast repair. That's it. You got to save your car. You got to save your equipment. You cannot. It's stupid to try to make a run to the lead and try to battle for the win on lap 60 of this race. It makes no sense. Even if you're up in the front right now, make no bones about it. Landon Rapp is not using his car to its full potential right now. He's just riding and driving. I promise you, if Momberket could catch him and get around him, not only because they're teammates, Cody, he would let him have it because it's too early in the going of this race. There's nobody that I'm seeing, per se so far that is showing sheer dominance, and there really is no need to because a lot of things can happen in this race as we're 30 laps away from approaching lap 100.
Definitely. It's people think 250 laps around a 14-mile track is not a lot. They're running 14-second laps. It may not be a lot, but they still got tires. And
that's right.
In the IRL Thanksgiving Classic, they get a set of tires on the car, and then they get 2 tires. Well, here on iRacing, we can't do 2 tires, so we give them an extra set of tires. But iRacing judgments that extra set to a 2-set set tires, so you kind of still got to weasel your way through. There's a lot of strategies that comes into it. When NASCAR started the stages, I never was a fan of it because to me, I mean, anybody can run a 70, 75 lap run, but when you get out there and you have to run 200-300 laps at a time each and every week, then it shows who your drivers and who your racers are.
That's exactly right. Again, right now, as it stands, comfortably in the lead, it's Landon Rapp. Landon Rapp in the number 28 machine. Dustin Momberket, the friend of Ontario, Canada, our friend of the North. He's in the number 2 spot. Sitting in third, Jordan Blair. Of course, Ross Boo Boo Dalton is up to 4th, and Kyle Tarzak has moved to 5th. Then you've got Pierce, then it's McNeil, Robertson, Cottle, and Baker. The top 10 is right now, we see the 70 machine looking to make some moves on that machine right there as they work down into the corner.
That's a lap car.
Inside, outside. This is the battle now. The 78 machine for that 3rd spot. He just can't seem to get around Momberket. And in doing so, here comes also Dalton reeling in Blair.
Yeah, and I want to point out the 70 car is a lap down car. He's not battling for position. He's just there. So, he's got to get out of the way. I feel like he's racing these guys a little too hard.
Warren.
David Warren. I think he's racing these guys a little bit too hard. I think he needs to just kind of get on the top side and get up out of the way.
Yeah, that's Davis Warren. He's up on the... Whoa, that's not... Oh, no, trouble. Enid McNeil goes around. Davis Warren goes spinning. It started with a slip by the 70 machine of Davis Warren, I think, trying to take your advice there to try to get out on the top of the racetrack. And when he did, he miscorrected. There was another car there tagged. That car of Warren tags Enid McNeil. And there you see what's happened to put us under our 2nd caution flag of the race here at the Thanksgiving Classic.
It looks like his day is done there for the night. Looks like he's towed to the pits. So tough break for him as he looked like he had a really good car and just nowhere to go.
Let's see a replay of what just happened here, as obviously they're going to open up pit road for some guys here in just a moment. I want to kind of set the stage. As you said, there's the 17 of Pierce right there in that battle. That's the car that Warren, the 70 car, bounced off of, was Pierce right there. And it looked like Pierce, you see the 70 Warren. I think, honestly, Cody Warren was trying to get up high. He miscalculated, thought maybe he could weasel in between the 2 cars there with, of course, Pierce, the red and white 17, into the fence. And then he got tagged, I believe, by Robertson. Robertson turned McNeil, and then that's what caused McNeil to go around. And there's the caution here for the 2nd time.
Yeah, tough break there by the 17 car. That was a little bit crazy there, to say the least. Not too sure what he was doing racing the leaders. To me, it just was a little berserk there to try to race the leaders. I mean, we've seen the lap cars get out of the way, and it's kind of what he needed to do there.
So the caution out again. Obviously a tough break there for the Enid McNeil car because he looked really, really strong. We'll see where he ends up in the shuffle when it's all said and done.
Looks like Edmund Jones is done for the day too. So Edmund Jones and Davis Warren, the 00, and the 70 car are done for the day.
And we're ready for the green flag here at the Thanksgiving Classic. And let's get it started again here. Working, I believe, at about, 40 laps left to go in the first segment of this race as we approach halfway for the halfway break. Right now, it is still Landon Rapp in the lead. What a strong car he's got. His teammate, Momberket, hung up on the outside. Here comes Boo Boo. Hey, Boo Boo. Ross Boo Boo Dalton going to the number 2 spot. He'll carry Blair with him, and they go into turn 1.
Yeah, Dustin Momberket going to cross up Jordan Blair, get back under him, try to work on that 3rd position, but here comes Boo Boo Dalton, the man out of Liberty, North Carolina, the Team Zine sponsored entry. He's looking on the back bumper, that's number 38. He wants that $50 to go back in his pocket.
Yeah, that's his money. He's putting up that money. And right now, the Hudson Raceworks entry, number 50 machine, right now to the number 2 spot. He is creeping on the leader now of Landon Rapp. Landon Rapp down to the inside, throws the block of the 50 star. He now goes to the inside, usually black, blue, and yellow. Now it is black and blue holiday colors as he works his way off the corner out of turn 4 to the line, approaching triple digits in the Thanksgiving Classic for the first time tonight. Here to lap 125 and halfway, it's Boo Boo Dalton beginning his ascent to close in on Rapp. Momberket, his teammate for Rapp, watches along intently, who was in second the most of the race now, is now back to third. Kyle Turzak, who won the Legends preliminary, is right there in fourth. Coddle, your top 5 of their single file on lap 90.
Yep, and it looks like back here in the back, Caleb Hall is starting to make a cringe to the front, trying to get to the front. Looks like he's had some bad luck, but he's working his way through the field slowly but steadily, trying to be there at the end. As you see Stan Lee, that's the 4 car. That's Aaron Stoltz. He's on the outside. Dominic Lumley is Dominic. Oh, a little bit of touching there.
Yeah, a little contact there by Lee. Lee in the 4 car, shot up the hill as around him goes that 7 machine. Getting back into that spot. That's in the back of the pack right there with Dylan and Lee for 17th and 18th. And right now, let's go back to the front for the lead. Closing in by half a second. Not even much that, a quarter of a second. Rapp and Momberket now back to second again. Dylan will fall back to third as we're approaching lap 100. By the way, a comment coming in. I was trying to hold my line. Wasn't trying to race anyone. I want to say that was coming from the 70 car. And of course, Davis Warren talking about what happened to him in that machine, of course, out of the Thanksgiving Classic. Remember, we mentioned this as we're approaching lap 100. 30 laps to go in the halfway break. Cody Deemers, you got 1 fast repair. If you use that fast repair too fast in this race and you get caught up in another wreck, you get put behind, you get lapped down or more, it hurts you. It takes you out of the race, and that's exactly what's happened to Jones and Warren.
Yeah, and you got to look at Chase L. Pearson. He just had to use his fast repair. Top front runner, didn't think he was going to have to use it that early. Now he's got him and Enoch have got to drive their way back to the field and hope nothing happens in front of them to where they get caught back in a wreck, because then they've got to fight either a tight race car or the damage could help make them have a loose race car.
Right now, getting ready to put lap number 98 on the board here at the Thanksgiving Classic. There you see Ian McNeil and Pierce trying to get around the Deuce machine as they try to climb back into, it looks like right now, the top 15 on the racetrack. They're trying to get back in this battle as right now Landon Rapp has still been the man leading the way. He had his biggest competition on that last restart between him and Ross Boo Boo Dalton, but then Dalton fell back to third, and Dustin Momberket was able to get back around him to go back to the number 2 spot. Those are the teammates. They're coming to the line. Lap 125 laps to go in the first segment of the Thanksgiving Classic, presented by Irvin Used Auto Parts. Here come the leaders getting back around another lap machine again as they come to the line. That's going to be, again, the driver of the 27, Hudson Hall, going to lap down.
Yeah, as you see Momberket, oh, Rapp, we're going to get a little loose. We got a battle for your race lead.
Ethan Johnson, my apologies. Ethan Johnson going a lap down there in that Miller Genuine Draft Colors of the 27 machine from Hudson, North Carolina. As right now a battle for the lead goes on again. Ross Boo Boo Dalton, he pulls the trigger, but he's stuck to the outside. Battles along with Dustin Momberket. Momberket looking to go for a 2-for-1 special. He's going to go after Momberket and try to go after the leader, Rapp, as he can out of 2.
Yeah, Ross Boo Boo Dalton looking to the inside of the 28 machine. Off of 4, trying to get back to him, trying to get back to Momberket. Laps closing down on halfway, the first segment of the race. As they work off of 2. Whoa, there goes the 50 machine, getting really loose off of 2. As they work back into 3.
Dustin Momberket now the new man leading the way. The number 16 machine, of course, from Ontario, Canada. He's in the top spot. Now you got Landon Rapp right there behind him in the number 2 spot. And, of course, Ross Dalton sitting in third. Kyle Turzak and, of course, Coddle. Right now, your top 5. That's the way it stands with about 20 to go in the first segment.
Yeah, single file is what you see right now. Everybody kind of just hanging out, riding, pacing themselves. As we look back here about 14th with Caleb Hall, Austin Taylor, Dominic Lumley riding. But meanwhile, out front, it's Momberket Rapp. Rapp trying to get back to the back bumper of the 16. First lead change we've had all night, Wesley.
Those are your teammates right there that you kind of mentioned, keeping an eye on them. Of course, the Zeems setup shop entry landed wrap from the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina. He is now in a precarious position for the first time tonight, being outside the lead spot. He's now right behind his teammate from Innisfil, Ontario, Canada, of Dustin Mombercat of the 16. Lap traffic up ahead again as here comes the 4 machine right now, about to be overtaken by more backmarker cars. The leaders will go. As all this happens, we're also approaching 15 laps to go in the first segment of the Thanksgiving Classic. All this going on now is Mombercat starting to run away with it as they look up in the wall. Hold on there. That's, oh man, he's in the fence. I think they just threw a caution because of it. The 43, Cole Brannick, and now we got problems somewhere else on the racetrack to throw a yellow to the 2 car.
The 18
And the 18, the 118, Jason Ferree is around. Jason Ferree around to the 118 from Houston, Texas. And here's a replay of what happened to the 118 here. Willard might have got into him, Cody.
Yeah, nope, he just lost it.
No!
Oh.
He just lost it.
Just lost it, and then Willard just kind of checked up and still got in the back end of him.
Yep.
Tough break.
Beautiful looking race car. You know, next year, I don't know if you're having any competition for the nicest looking holiday car. That's a pretty looking machine right there for the Christmas holiday, for the Thanksgiving Classic, obviously. And,
Fun fact,
you know,
Wesley,
I don't know if you're doing it, and I don't know if you're doing it this year, but maybe next year, whoever has the best looking wrap job for the holidays, they're going to get a prize or something.
Yeah, definitely. And talking to Jason Ferree, that car is A Christmas Story, the movie, based off the Christmas Story. He said it was his grandma's favorite movie, so that's why he went with the paint scheme.
Yeah, I like that.
So definitely pretty cool.
All right, so here we go under the yellow flag. It is Dustin Mombercat, the leader. The driver of the number 16 machine, Seams Body Shop entry from Innisfil, Ontario, Canada. Charlotte, North Carolina, landed wrap in second. Walkertown or Liberty, North Carolina. Ross Boo Boo Dalton in the 50 Star, the blue car, the blue and black 50 machine. He's in third.
Wesley, I don't mean to interrupt you, Wesley, but I just want to go ahead and give the chat a fair warning. I just got an alert on my phone for a possible tornado watch. So if the stream drops, you know why. So just letting everybody know that we are under a severe thunderstorm warning watch, and I just got a tornado watch on my phone alert.
Oh, okay, man. Well, I hope prayers that everything. Man, kind of crazy in Indiana. Would you say it was 19 degrees, 8 degrees outside, and a freaking tornado watch?
Yeah, we got a severe thunderstorms and tornado watch.
And 8 degrees outside. Holy hell. With 10 laps to go in the Thanksgiving Classic in the first segment, we're ready to bring them the pace car on pit road. And not a good restart that time for the inside lane. Mombercat. Here comes his teammate, Landon Rapp on the outside. Can he make it stick out of 2?
Working through 3 and 4.
Can he clear him? The outside lane just right now, not being able to find the power that the bottom does, which is a given usually at Southern National. That's why Diaz put a lot of PJ1 on the racetrack this year and previous years to make the outside lane come to work.
And Rapp's
right now, yep, he is. He's hanging with him.
Big impression. Oh, server must have just crashed.
Oh, my. What just happened? Oh, they're back. And we got a caution on the front stretch when it happened, too.
Servers had to have crashed again. Yeah, they probably had a caution just because the server crashed again and everybody wrecked.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the server crashed again.
Well, you got poor Cody dealing with weather. You've got now another virtual weather delay here. It's raining cats and dogs out of nowhere at Southern National, and just a few laps shy to the end of stage, or the first segment of the Thanksgiving Classic, lap 118 at 250, and the caution's out again. And oh man, I got to get this fixed. Let's go to a break. Hopefully they'll be able to get all this straightened back out, and hopefully we can get this race back going again. Stay with us. More coverage on Elevated TV from the Irvin Used Auto Parts inaugural Thanksgiving Classic from the virtual iRacing Southern National Motorsports Park.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Thanksgiving Classic from virtual Southern National Motorsports Park. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to be the bearer of bad news. My apologies on this announcement, but we do have to make this announcement. Due to the ongoing continuation of iRacing server issues, which is basically like a weather delay, storm delay for us, we are having to postpone the remaining of the Thanksgiving Classic presented by Irvin Used Auto Parts. The race will be concluded in its entirety from lap 125? Are we going to go?
Yep, so we're going to do, instead of doing the finishing off, we're going to lock the field as frozen where they're at right now. And
okay.
Then we're going to do 125. We haven't got a confirmed date, but when we do get a confirmed date, I'll post it on the Elevated TV Facebook page and let everybody know.
We'll let everybody know basically what's going on. The server has crashed. You saw it happen one time earlier when we were 3 laps into the race, and then you saw what just happened here with about a good 118 laps into it. That's what caused the caution when the server crashed. So with that said, we're all getting ready to determine what the date, what the time will be, and it will be sometime next week. That's all I can tell you right now, but they will get this Irvin Used Auto Parts inaugural Thanksgiving Classic in its entirety, of course, next week. Follow Elevated TV, follow social media, and of course, we'll let you know when the date and the time will be. So, Cody, it was fun while it lasted, but man, obviously, we'll try to reset, do this again.
All right, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We definitely will. And like I said, we'll let everybody know that's watching. We appreciate each and every one of you watching. Sorry about all the trouble, the error, the problems, and all that. We'll be back next week. But until then, make sure you tune in Sunday night for the round number 5 of the Pitwall Podcast Stock Car Tour.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time Sunday night. Check it out. And, of course, always check out Elevated TV on Facebook and Discord. For Cody Demers, I'm Wesley Outland. Thanks for joining us for the Thanksgiving Classic. Now postponed 1 week later, the date and time to be determined.